Well, hey there, YouTube. Okay, so we are fixing, I think it is, oh gosh, I don't know, I think this is meal number 3. This is the barbecued hamburgers with oven-baked onion rings. Okay, I cheated a little bit. I cut up the onion for you. Hello, Prince. Goodbye, Prince. I did cut up the onion off camera. That really is all that I've done. Right now I have 1 egg in a bowl with, I don't know, about a tablespoon of water, and I'm mixing that up. This is going to be our wet dredge for the onion rings. Sorry about that sound. Oh, look, you can see Bear Bear in the background. Hi, Bear Bear. She's finally getting so big. She actually looks like a real kitten. She doesn't look like a little alien. All right, we're getting ready to make the dry dredge for the onion rings. The recipe calls for a couple of tablespoons of all-purpose flour. That was obviously more than a couple of tablespoons. See, AP, all-purpose flour. But it's no big deal. It doesn't matter that much. There's the panko crumbs. We're going to add those next. Put those in there. And then we'll add a little bit of salt and pepper as well. I only use kosher salt, so hence I have it in that small container. If anyone is interested, there's the salt. I actually got that little copper container at Walmart. I think I only paid a couple of dollars for it. I love that container. That is pepper. I do not buy pre-ground pepper either. You can get pepper mills pretty much anywhere nowadays. It's preference, doesn't really matter all that much, but it's my preference. Mix it up. Okay, there we go. All right, so now we're going to start dredging the onions in the liquid, which is the egg and the water. Mix it around, you know. Don't make it more complicated than it is. We are going to work in batches because it makes it easier. Hello, Pompey. Hello, Caesar. They generally stand around in the kitchen. They're waiting for me to drop something. We're baking these in the oven versus frying them. So that is coated with some spray oil. We're now just going to, you know, drop the onions in the bag and shift them around. There's not enough space to do this all at once, and really you should work in batches to make sure that everything gets coated. Close it up, shake it up. This just makes easy cleanup. You could technically do this in like a Tupperware bowl as well, and just put the lid on it and shake, 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 shake. Just means you're gonna have one more thing to clean up. But I do that method as well. I'm just laying them out on the baking sheet, one level, trying not to crowd them too awful much. We're going to cook this at a pretty high heat. It's asking for 450. That will make this go pretty quickly as well. This part is probably the longest of this meal prep, is literally just doing the onion rings. The rest of it goes really quickly. I hope you guys are enjoying this part of the series. It's definitely something I'm willing to do more often if you subscribers want to actually see this. I thought this might be interesting for some newbies, just either starting out, learning how to cook for themselves, or using meal services like this just to kind of show. It really is easy. It's just food. You don't have to be afraid. don't make a big deal out of it, right? Like, you know, if it gets more flour or more panko on it, it's not that big of a deal. If it's not covered as much, it's not that big of a deal. It's just food. You know, we don't have to get crazy with it. But I wanted to show people in real time how easy this is. And again, you could have very easily, you know, just went to the store and bought and frozen onion rings. They also have a lot of crap in them, right? This is literally onions, flour, panko, egg. Like, you know exactly what's in this. And they tasted really good, by the way. You could put other seasonings in this if you wanted to as well. Seasoning salt, you could put some cayenne pepper. I mean, you could really play around with this Italian seasoning. I mean, Lord, you could put anything you wanted in there. Spice it all up and just kind of see. Worst case scenario is it doesn't turn out that well, and you've just learned don't do that again, right? So that makes it easy. Play with your food. You're an adult now, you're allowed to play with your food. That one's trying to get away. There we go. Shaky, shaky, shaky. Oh, look, and I made a mess. It's okay, I can clean it up. Again, it's not that big of a deal. Don't be so serious about it. There's my first pan. I gotta go get the other pan. I ran out of space. This is the bigger one. I'm literally still in my work clothes, y'all. Yes, I can tell that you guys can see the candy kings on my leggings. These are called my happy pants, and I'm wearing them all the way through Christmas. I have several pairs of them. I've got my scrub shirt on. I had to do lab work, hence the white stuff all over the front of my shirt. But literally, this is, I don't know, about 40 minutes after we got home. You could technically use your fingers to do this kind of stuff. I can't stand getting my hands dirty like that, and I can't stand getting stuff up underneath my nails. It drives me nuts. And as you can see, my nails are really long, so no. And I always try to do one wet, one dry. Like, I don't use the tongs in the wet, because then the tongs get all like goopy and gross. Then it's just harder to clean them. So I always do like one dry and one wet. It's just easier for me. Okay, that's all the onions. We'll put that in the sink. I also clean as I go, so literally pretty much everything is done and cleaned up by the time dinner is finished, and the only thing that I have to do is literally wash the dishes that we ate off of. That's just me. I like to clean as I go. I can't stand having a whole bunch of dishes at the end. It's just daunting to me, so I kind of do it as I go. By the way, this is the third time I'm recording this. The first time I edited this film, my microphone was not working and I didn't know it. I literally went through the whole entire thing and realized there was no sound. I'm taking vegetable spray and I'm spraying over the top of the onions right now, because it does tell you that you need to kind of put some oil on them so that they've got something to cook on, and I was just being lazy and didn't want to get the big container of oil out. You can do it either way. Hell, you can deep fry these if you want to. Like, that would be good too. All right, in the oven they go. They're saying they'll take somewhere between 10 and 17 minutes, and they want you to turn them halfway through. Cleanup's easy now, so I'm just gonna wipe everything down and I'll throw that bag away. But yeah, I literally did the voiceover on this completely and totally, and then figured out that there was zero sound. I can't tell you how amazingly upset I was. I was so mad. Still kind of mad. This is like Sunday morning now. I had to go in and try to figure out what had changed, and somehow the audio microphone, the sound got taken off. So I don't know what happened. Prince is walking around with chips. He's asking me if we have anything to dip said chips in, and we don't, because he ate it all. We have no cheese, we have no hummus. He ate the cheese, he ate it all. Sorry, Prince. Okay, now we've got the ground beef. It has been so cold here. Hi, Dean. Yeah, sorry. Look, Dean crawls on my counters. It is what it is. All right, so it's been so cold. Literally, I had to defrost this meat. I had it in my refrigerator. I don't freeze any of these. They generally will last, you know, the 5 to 7 days that it takes for us to go through these. But it was frozen, sitting in my refrigerator, so I had to defrost it for a couple of minutes. All right, you see me getting a bowl out. These are hamburgers. It's telling me to mix the barbecue spices inside the hamburger meat. You don't have to do that. If you really want to be super lazy, you literally could just sprinkle this on the outside of the burgers and cook it that way, and I'm sure it would taste just as good. Because here we go, getting all the stuff up underneath my nails. You guys know how much I love that. Okay, get all the meat out of there. This is grass-fed beef. Their beef really is good, I'll have to admit. All right, there's the barbecue spice. I'm not going to use all of it. It tells you to use a tablespoon or so. Barbecue spice. You can measure it if you want to, or you can do like I do and just pour some in there. There you go. It looks good. Okay, we'll go with that. And then just mix it in there, right? You want to make sure you mix it really well, because you don't want to have just like one part of the beef that's seasoned and the rest of it's plain. So squishy, squishy, squishy. And again, Pompey is literally right behind my feet. She is desperate for me to drop something. Fat girl. All right, so that's mixed pretty good. All right, I'm now going to get as much of this off my hands as I can, and then I'm going to go wash my hands, which is going to take a hot second because the grease in this is really cold. All right, so I kind of split it in half, and then I smash these out pretty thin because they will shrink as they cook a little bit, and I like them to cook kind of quickly, so I just kind of smash them out. Leave them on the board. This is the easiest thing to do. You saw me just kind of lift it and pick it up. That's just to make sure that it doesn't stick to the board and it doesn't rip apart when I'm trying to get it in the pan. So I just leave it on the board because I can pick it up and take it over to the other side. I'm now washing my hands, which literally, I had to wash my hands like 2 or 3 times to get all the grease off of it. It was gross. No, the film is not stuck. It looks like Pompey is just stuck right there because she doesn't move, right? She's just real still. She's just waiting. Drop something, drop something. I don't drop anything. But there she goes. Okay. I didn't drop anything, though. I can't tell you how many times I trip over her in the kitchen, which is another good reason to do voiceover because I'll cuss more than a couple of times. I'll be picking the camera up here in just a minute and moving you guys over to the other side because my ring light, the cord is not long enough for me to stretch across my kitchen, nor would I do that because I'd end up killing myself or killing a friend, so. Clean, clean, clean. Throw that away. I'm getting my pans and everything ready, so we'll move the hamburgers over there. Well, now we'll move the light. Hey, woo! Let's take a trip. Want to take a ride? All right, I have the pan turned on with just a little bit of oil in it. You can see all my cast iron skillets sitting over there. Look, I'll give you guys a tip. If you do not own any cast iron, Lord have mercy, child, what is wrong with you? You need some cast iron in your life. These things literally will last forever. Generation after generation after generation. Pretty much every woman in my family had cast iron skillets. What happened to them, I have absolutely no idea. There's my salt. We're going to salt and pepper these. These are all new cast iron skillets. Some of them I purchased on eBay and a couple I purchased locally. But I promise you, if you get a cast iron, nothing cooks meat like a cast iron skillet. Nothing cooks cornbread like a cast iron skillet. invest in them. They're not terribly expensive. They're easy to care for. They can become nonstick if you take care of them properly, which means you always leave them oiled. You never let them, dry on their own. You don't leave them wet, things of that nature. A big tip that I can tell you, whether you're using cast iron or stainless steel, never, ever, ever put your meat in a cold pan. It will stick like nobody's business. My pan is heating up right now is what I'm doing. Cast iron also holds and conducts your heat very, very well. It does it better than stainless steel with copper bottoms. I'm a big fan, obviously, of cast iron. Yes, you can fry even eggs in them if you take care of them properly. So we're going to put seasoned side down because I salt and peppered both sides. If I had the sound on for this, you would hear the sizzle, but we can't have both sounds running at the same time, so you get one or the other, sorry. Now, the big thing with this, if you want really good brown meat, because brown meat tastes good, don't touch them. Put them in there and leave them alone. Don't fuss with them. Don't mush them around. Don't shake the pan. Just leave it. Leave it, leave it, leave it. Now, I'm looking for my tongs because it's about time, believe it or not, for us to go ahead and turn over those onion rings. I'm going to try to move the camera down where you can see a little bit, but, this is about as far as you guys are going to go. That's as good as it's going to get. So I'm flipping all the onion rings as it's stated. They're not terribly brown on this one side, but once you flip them, they will start browning even a little bit quicker. That's usually how it goes. Once the first side browns and then you turn it over, the second side has a tendency to brown a bit quicker. So watch these. This is on 450 degrees. You don't really want to just, walk away and forget about these things because they'll burn. Now, if you've done your job right, these things will all be done at about the same time, which this does. You'll see that's part of being a really good cook is your timing. What needs to cook first so that everything ends up getting done about the same time so that one part of your meal is not cold. We're going to stick them back in there. Okay, we'll turn it over here so you can just watch the meat cook. Wish you had smell-o-vision because it actually smells really nice. If you're wondering what that cup is in the middle of my stove, if you're not from the South, you probably don't know what that is. Most Southern people do. Yes, the lady in the back corner that is from the South, that is my bacon grease cup. Anytime we make bacon, Southerners for the most part save their bacon grease because we use it for all kinds of things. We fry eggs, we fry potatoes, we do all kinds of stuff with it. There's my little baby cheese. Y'all know how much I love my baby cheese. So what I'm doing with this is they tell you to slice it down the middle to make two pieces. So instead of slicing it in half and having two square thick pieces, they want you to slice it down the middle so that you have two pieces that are the same length, but they're half the thickness. The first slice did not go as well as I wanted it to, but I got it the second time around. There we go. See, now we're making it all the way through now. We end up with two pieces. Yay. All right, we'll set them over to the side, which I put those on the cutting board. I'm now prepping the buns. Pretty much all I'm going to do is just open them up, and I'm going to use that spray vegetable oil because I'm lazy. And I just don't feel like having to use a brush and all that kind of stuff. Just spray both sides. Don't eat your hamburgers with raw buns. Please don't miss this step. It really does matter. Cook your buns. All right, so now we're going to salt and pepper the other side because you should season both sides of your food. You want both sides to taste good, right? Yes. Yes, you do. Look, we still haven't touched them. We haven't moved them. Now, I have decided that the onions looked a little dry in the oven. Some of the flour had come off a little bit, and it looked a little dry in there. So, no biggie. I'm just going to take a little bit of vegetable oil, and I'm going to put a little on one pan and a little on the other, and I'm going to mousse the onions around a little bit, and I'll put them back in there and let them get crisp. So you can do this stuff after the fact. It's okay. It's just food. It'll be fine. And they still taste really good. I didn't put that much oil in there. It kind of looked like I did, but I didn't. See, now I'm going to mousse them around a little bit. No big deal. Easy peasy. So you guys can totally do this. Poppy's like, drop it. Drop something. Drop something. Nope. Not today, sis. Not today. All right, so now we're getting about the point that I want to turn these burgers. In my house, we eat our burgers medium to medium rare. You eat your burgers the way you want, right? Okay, my mother-in-law is calling me. So you can, yes, that is Jesus Take the Wheel. I'll explain later why that is her ringtone. Just give me a minute. It'll go off. Hang on. There we go. I'll call her back in a minute. Sorry about that. But anyway, we eat our burgers medium to medium rare. You can eat your burgers any way you like, but that's the way we like ours. And you see all that brown crispiness on that meat? That's good. It tastes yummy. That's what you want, right? Everything is just about done. We really don't have that much longer to go, believe it or not. I think we got done, I don't know, about 25 minutes is what it's literally taking from beginning to end the cooking part. Of course, I do my thing at the end, but I think 25 minutes is where we were. Now, I'm actually getting stuff out of the fridge to dress the burgers, you know, lettuce, tomato, pickles, that kind of stuff. Doesn't show it in the picture, but we don't eat naked burgers, so I'm getting out all those things. All right, that's looking pretty good. I'm about ready to go ahead and put the cheese on there and let that melt. There you go. This is a white cheddar. Now, little tip. Again, if you like your cow completely dead, you know, you can leave this pan open, right? And just cook your meat to death. It's fine. Whatever you like. Again, we don't. So I'm going to put a lid on it. And the reason I put a lid on it is because all that steam that you see coming out of there, it will trap the steam and it will actually help melt the cheese really quickly. I'm literally getting plates out of the cabinet. My ring light's in the way. All right, there's the lid. Things are going to happen. Onion rings are, yeah, I think they're done. We're probably going to pull them out of there in just a second. Let's clean up the stove a little bit, because there's grease all over it, people. All right. Let's just, oh, see, there goes the steam. It's really going to start melting here in just a minute. There it goes. Know that it's not smoke. It is not burning. That is steam. Y'all cracking me up. And look, it's perfectly melted. Yay! All right, so we're going to scoop the burgers onto a plate because, again, the buns are raw and we still have to cook the buns. So we're just going to put those on a plate. I don't care that the pan has all that yummy brown goodness on the bottom of it. We want that on our buns. So I'm just going to put the buns in there, side down, and we're going to cook those. Those will not take long, maybe a minute or so, if that. I think while those are cooking, I'm going to pull the onion rings out of the oven. Yep, they're done. So we're going to turn the oven off. I've actually turned off the top part of the stove as well, because again, that cast iron holds the heat quite nicely. Hey, those look pretty good. We're going to get the other one out. I'm going to put them both on the same pan, obviously because they're cooked now, so it doesn't matter. Check those. Nope, that one's not enough. We'll put it back down. That one looks good though. Hey, see? Nice, yummy, brown, crispy buns. There we go. That looks delicious. Now see, I'm going to take my steaming hot pan and I'm going to run it over the sink. This makes cleanup very easy with cast iron. You want to do it while it's hot. And I'm going to scrub-a-dub-dub. It only takes a minute, you'll see. And then I'm going to put it back on the stove eye because it's still hot and it will dry my cast iron pan. Never leave them wet, they will rust. And then when it cools down, I'll put a little bit more oil in it and rub it around the pan. It's called seasoning it because I don't leave my pans dry. See, there you go, all clean. We'll let it dry and then we'll put a little bit more oil in it. Okay, hang tight.
Let me get my little thing up here. Hey. Okay, so that's it for the burgers and onion rings. We're at 26 minutes and 3 seconds at this point in time. So I'll get it plated up. I'll get you the last shot. And that'll be it for today. All right, there are the finished burgers and onion rings. We'll get a close shot. Looks pretty good. All right, we'll give you our review at the end.